Hey everyone, it's your girl Pharmacy coming to you from Green Heifer Farms. I am inside of the cabin, which you can see all manners of stuff inside of. Just did a walkthrough to kind of go over some things before the electrician comes out here. We're getting ready to have the place wired so that we can go ahead and do the insulation and replace the siding and get the exterior weather clad. And that's not work that Drew is going to do. We have an electrician who is going to do that for us. So he and I just had a little walkthrough, and I will show you, I'll have that in a different video with some updates as to what's going on around here. But this video is basically a little chit chat. Wanted to talk about a few things planned for 2021. Happy New Year. We made it. We made it. That is in and of itself something to be happy about, because a lot of people did not make it. For those who have lost loved ones or who are going through tough times, my heart goes out to you, and I sincerely pray that 2021 is a much better year for you, and that the blessings just flow abundantly. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much. My name is Pharmacy, and I am the CEO and head farmer in charge at Green Heifer Farms. And we are a startup boutique farm located in Liberty, North Carolina. And we have been in business since 2018, or formed as a business since 2018, but actually launched our first tangible products last year in the midst of a pandemic, or right at the beginning of a pandemic. It was like we did a pre-sale for our first tea in February, and then boom, the world shut down. And we were very fortunate. So we grow medicinal plants here, including hemp, and we make teas with those plants. And yeah, 2020 was a year. It was a year, and I can't like hate on 2020 solely or completely. There were some rough parts, of course, absolutely. There were some tough things in 2020 that I dealt with personally, professionally, emotionally. But overall, 2020 for me was a teacher year. I learned some valuable lessons in 2020, especially about a farm and starting a farm and getting it, getting it up to snuff that you can actually be a working farm. So learned a lot of lessons, been sharing those on YouTube. Sorry y'all, something was itching. I don't be taking no chances around here, okay? I make sure there's no critters on me. But, ooh, so dusty. Anywho, that's what I mostly share on this channel. I share lessons learned. I share skill sets that I brought to farming. So by profession, I am a professional nonprofit fundraiser. Also have extensive experience in marketing and communications. Have won awards in all areas, and so I brought those skills to farming and have been able to apply them to our business model, so that we were actually able to increase our profitability exponentially in 2020. And now we are poised for further growth, so that can continue the upward trajectory for us in 2021. Now, I'm a little different than some of the other farming channels on YouTube. One, we are an actual farm, so it is larger scale than some of the more gardening focused channels that may be geared more towards people who want to produce for their own families, or want to do it really, really small scale. Maybe have like a produce stand or something like that. Or for people who are more interested in homesteading or living off grid. As you know, I make no secret of it. I am not about struggle farming. That does not mean I haven't had struggles while building my farm. Of course I have. I have not always been the most comfortable. I've had to pee outside all of 2020. And if I have to go pee right now, it'll be outside. However, I'm working on that, all right? That septic permit is going in first thing next week, so we can get some septic out here. And you know, I had to drag a cord 200 feet in order to have access to electricity in here. But a year ago I didn't even have any type of electrical service out here whatsoever. So yeah, there is some struggle, but I don't like to struggle, so I usually try to make that struggle period as short as possible and be doing things to alleviate whatever said struggle is being experienced. So my channel is a little different in that I'm actually talking about how to start a small farm, and I'm not necessarily the typical farmer. So a lot of the channels that are geared towards farming or gardening, it's pretty much a white dominated space, just like agriculture is. You know, it is what it is. It's white dominated space, and white people seem to find it easier to watch other white people. So I'm not what, you know, typically is on here. And then the people that a lot of, at least from what I can see, a lot of the black gardeners or farmers are either male or they're couples. So my audience is mostly, from what I can tell, from those who actually engage with me, because a lot of people watch videos and they don't subscribe. So I think like almost 60% of the people who watch my videos actually aren't subscribed. I don't know why that is necessarily. And that's what this video is about. It's just about my whole YouTube, or just not just YouTube, just some thinking I've been doing as to how I'm divvying up my time as it relates to social media and different platforms, and balancing that with the fact that I am an actual farmer. So I am out in my fields and doing physical work. And with that comes a certain time commitment, along with all of the administrative things that you have to do in farming, you know, keeping my reporting up to snuff, ordering materials and supplies, making decisions about, you know, projects such as this. So there's a lot of other pieces, and I still maintain my full-time job. I'm fortunate that I work from home, but it is a demanding career. I have to work. And once the pandemic is, you know, we're no longer restricted as much as far as movement and travel, I'll be back traveling a good deal. So I'm in the process of developing a plan, scaling us to get us to a point that I'm able to be away from the farm for those periods of time, and we still we have no interruption in production. So all of those things take time, and I'm a mom. I have my youngest still at home with me, my 17-year-old. I have 2 adult daughters who have children and families, so I am a grandmother. 45, so I'm a, you know, I'm a young ass grandma, but I'm still a grandmama, and I have all of that stuff going on, and I manage, for the most part, our social media and marketing. And so it's a lot, y'all. And the YouTube channel started out as an outlet for me to just kind of document things as they're happening, and to build an audience, certainly, but it was not, it's never been necessarily just quantitatively driven. However, now that I'm at a point that like time is you know, limited. I'm really trying to do an assessment of how I'm spending my time, and if I'm using it the best. And you know, filming videos, editing videos does take a good deal of time, and I do that all myself. And I thought about, well, I could pay someone to edit the videos, but that would require me to look at YouTube as basically almost, I would have to look at it as another revenue stream, which I do a little bit, but not for real, because there are other things, you know, that we have bringing in revenue. Right now I have closed registration for it, but I'll be relaunching my Soul Green Society, which is where I really get more hands-on and work with women farmers who want to start or grow boutique farming businesses. Then I have our Patreon, where people actually pay for the content, and it's more about, you know, some farming stuff, but also more insight into me as a person. So there's that. And then, you know, IG and Facebook, and it's just like a whole bunch of time withdrawals. And so I'm at a point now, I'm like, well, where should we really focus our time? Oh, our email list. Like, let's not forget that, which really, truth be told, that's our core group of, like, as far as customers. We get more sales, more engagement, everything from our email list. And so I'm going into 2021 really assessing, like, how much time do I want to invest in YouTube? Is it really a good investment of my time and energy and efforts? Because I mean, I get comments, but not for real. I don't get a lot of engagement on here. So I think I take up, or rather, not take up, but I think I bring a voice to YouTube that is needed, but I'm biased. Maybe it ain't needed. So going back to that, as far as engagement and all that, it's not like astronomical. You know, I don't do a bunch of tell me down below and all of that. I don't. Yeah, so maybe that's on me, but the engagement isn't like woohoo out the roof. My subscription rate, my subscribers rather, you know, it inches up, but it's not like some of the other platforms that we're on that the growth is considerably more rapid. You know, YouTube kind of just like inches along. And I mean, I'm not always the most consistent, but I'm consistent. And am I consistent enough? I don't know. And then I'm like, do I become more consistent? That's more time. Do I want to invest that time trying to become more consistent in something that may never really, yeah. So that's a question I'm having. Do I continue with YouTube, or do I invest the time that I'm spending in YouTube in something else, like maybe Patreon, or building out more courses? So yep, that's something I'm thinking about. I would love to hear from you. I would love to know if you are a subscriber, how long you've been subscribed, and I guess what kind of content you enjoy on this channel, and just your thoughts overall. Like, you know, is this something like is YouTube the only thing that you're necessarily, or the only way you're connected to me, or no? Because I also just got on Clubhouse, and I can see how Clubhouse could really be beneficial. I also could see how it could be a time vampire, and I'm trying it out. My concern is, you know, I've seen some of the rooms and some of the topics, and it's just like, are people really talking about that? They can't be talking about that. And the next thing you know, my ass in the room like, oh, y'all talking about that? Like, what? I don't know if I have the discipline to be on Clubhouse, but I'm on there. So I have done one room, and I'm gonna do another one. and we'll see what happens with that. And what I do like is that my oldest daughter is actually seems to be somewhat engaged in Clubhouse as well, so maybe that's something we can do together. But you know, working with adult kids, that's a whole nother video. That's a whole working with family period. And see, those are like the topics I want to talk about, you know. But I don't know if YouTube is the right place to talk about it, or is that something I delve deeper into in, you know, some of our other digital offerings. So anyway, would love to hear your thoughts on that. Chime in, let me know what you think. I was thinking that what I would do is just do like a 90-day kind of test on YouTube, where for the next 90 days, ooh, much better, Lord. Ooh, I feel like I got a new set of eyes. But do like a 90-day test where I upload twice a week and see what happens. You know, upload twice a week and make sure that I let my email list know when I upload. Another option I thought about was just creating content specifically for my email list. Y'all give me some ideas down below, especially if you are in this space on, you know, the digital space and all that good stuff. I'd love to hear from you. And if you feel so inclined, because this is a no pressure, we don't apply pressure in that kind of manner in these parts, but if you feel so inclined and you found this video to be somehow enlightening, engaging, something, then by all means, like, subscribe, comment, all of that. All right, so I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.